Hi. I like this hair. It's a mess.
Oh, I like that. So your Riley dog dance.
Did you like that?
That was pretty awesome. I told Brandon that I could never get like very good photos because it's with taking just pictures of me. Like since he's at home and stuff, I'm like, how can I try to figure out getting better photos without looking totally like a selfie?
I set up my phone a lot. So like that one, I took that video myself actually. And I set it up on my computer. And then like I edited obviously, so shortened the video, but I just use my phone. Zach never takes pictures for me. He would kill me if I was asking him to take pictures all the time.
I'll have to try that. I've done a couple on my phone. They're tricky to get.
Yeah, the timer is my best friend for sure.
What do you do your videos on? Is it Google or?
I just use the like the camera. The camera video is all that I use. Okay. And you can shorten them on here. When I'm like piecing things together, I use iMovie. But regularly, I just, like the one today, I didn't need to piece anything together. I just need to edit, me pressing play and then me turning it off. So, and I can do that on my phone. But when I put it together, I just upload it all to my computer and then I just put it into iMovie and it sections it together. So, I'm sure Brandon could help you with that. I'm sure he knows of some things that could do that.
I need to figure something out with him not being home.
You'll be fine. Hi, Miss Shay. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
You're good. You're tired?
Mm-hmm.
Don't take this the wrong way, but your face looks really shiny. Did you put something on it?
I know. I was looking at it. I just put lotion on. I just took a bath.
I like it. A
not very hot bath because I can't.
You can't take hot baths?
Not when you're with child.
No, I didn't know that.
I mean, you just can't get like your body temperature can't get too hot.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So Taylor will come in and like put his hand in the water and like, I'm fine. Very protective.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I need to put something away real quick before we begin, so I'll be right back. Right it all. So I have to show you guys, I brought something home from school because I always feel like my lighting isn't really good and like all these people have these like really fancy like circle lights. So this is what I brought home. It's like this old janky light thing that I used in college and I had it in my classroom and I was like, I don't hardly ever use that in my classroom. I'm going to use it to like brighten it up in my office a little bit. So don't go buying those like really expensive light things. That'll work just fine. It's too funny. All right. Well, it is 8:30. Let me shut my door. Let's go ahead and get started. With us starting later, I always want to make sure that we, one, make this time super valuable, but then also I was telling Elena today, I sat in a meeting today. It was supposed to be one hour, and it ended up being like 2.5 to 3 hours at school. And so I am tonight all about let's be efficient, because after being like, okay, there goes the hour. Okay, there's an hour and a half. That's 2 hours. Let's get going. So I want this to be fairly informal. And so if you guys have questions, or if you have, input on what's worked for you, I definitely want you to bring that in also. What we're going to talk about is kind of like how to find people to reach out to, how to find if you're a new coach, and then how to find if you've been, doing this for a little while, what to say to people, like what are some of those initial conversations you can have. And I'm going to kind of let Elena take that on, because she's been rock star and reaching out to people. And then I want to kind of add in, once you get to that goals phase, what are some questions for sure that are really good to ask? And then, I just realized, oh, wait, you're recording. Just kidding. We're recording. And then, kind of that next phase would be like when they kind of drift away, in that follow-up phase, and kind of taking it as like, when do you follow up and when do you just go on to the next person? You kind of let that person go, kind of a bless and release of when is a good time to do that, because I feel like there's a very fine line in there of when do you continue to try to continue the conversation and when do you just be done with it. So I'm going to try to keep a close eye on time. I wanted to talk a little bit, start us off with like, where do you find people to reach out to? And if you are a brand new coach, this is something that I did when I first got started. And I didn't necessarily follow through with it until I got more serious and, got a little more fearless with my inviting. But I made a list of 50 people that I would love to help and that knew me and trusted me. So if you don't have a list of people yet, you need to create that list. And some of those people I did reach out to, some of those people I didn't, but almost all of them have reached out to me at some point in time also. So I would definitely create that list. And, if you're kind of like, man, like things are really slow right now, go back to that list. If you're having people constantly coming to you, that's great. But at the beginning, I find that doesn't always happen. At the beginning, I feel like it's very slow. You have to be putting yourself out there a little bit. So I say 50 people is a good thing to start with. These are girlfriends that guy friends that relatives that want to work on their health, people that trust and know you, basically. Do not make assumptions about these people. So I constantly will write a name down and I'll go, oh, I don't think she has the money for this right now. And I'll write another name down and go, oh, will she be offended if I ask her this? And I write another, and so I constantly, like, I think Trey said in one of his calls, and I've used this so many times, don't be God. Like, stop putting, just go out there and ask. And if they say, I'm not interested, that's great. Cool. You can move on to, do you know of someone else that would, or you can just drop it at that time. But it doesn't hurt to ask questions, I guess is the best way of putting it. After you've reached out to those 50 people, here's some of the things that I do is I use my post a lot. So I look at my Meg Moves page, I look at my personal page, and I'll go through, once a week. And I'll just write down names of people that I'm like, man, I'm seeing that name over and over again. They've liked almost everything. So they somehow find some kind of a connection with me if they're liking my stuff. Or someone who comments. If someone comments, I'm usually going to probably reach out to them. Especially if it's a comment on like an accountability group post or something like that. Be fearless and reach out to them for sure. If it's just someone that liked something randomly, maybe it was something that it was a personal story or something like that, I might just send them a thank you. Thank you so much for following my page. I really appreciate your support. I noticed that we both love fitness. I've noticed that we both have labs. I noticed that we both just got engaged, so we must have some things in common. Do you have any health goals? I've always had a hard time of adding that question of do you have any health goals you're wanting to work on? But that I don't know. I think we need to stop like beating around the bush and just kind of go for that. And I'd love for Elena to kind of talk about her reach outs this week and if she was asking about health goals at all. But one other thing that I've done recently that's been really helpful is I've created an event for an accountability group coming up. And then anytime that I am kind of referring to that accountability group, I'll copy and paste that link to the event in my post. That way it's kind of a soft way of people to say, I'm interested, without a firm yes. I feel like there are a decent amount of events out there and stuff like that. So that's been a really helpful thing. I did an event for Country Heat, just a space where I could kind of focus in on that program a little bit more, and it's brought up a lot of really great conversations for sure. So I didn't know if you guys had anything else that you all do to reach out, or where do you find the people that you're talking to?
I have been like hitting up the people you may know like crazy to grow like just interest on my page, and just to start reaching more people. And so I don't feel as much like I'm just going click, 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 just adding people. My rule of thumb is if we have 30 or more mutual friends and they look to be about in my age range for my niche market, like, so not teenagers and not like, sounds bad, but super old people, which you don't see a whole lot of like really elderly people on Facebook. But, and then especially if they have kids in the picture, I definitely add them and they don't look creepy. You know, sometimes people have really weird profile pictures and I'm like, eh. But I've started doing that more, and that's how I actually got my coach, my newer coach, Taylor, because she was in my mutual or people you may know. And I've started just building a lot of relationships from there, because it's weird. Some people post things about fitness, so then I reach out to them and stuff like that. And it sounds really creepy, but when someone from this area or someone I know tags a bunch of people in pictures, I'm like, oh, who am I not friends with yet? And I just start adding them. And then, like, I don't know if you all have realized, but when you add people, they show up in your news feed. Your recent ads show up more. So that means I'm showing up in theirs and they're being exposed to my stuff more. So then I can like their stuff or comment on it and things like that, and just kind of start plugging in those seeds. And it's funny because when I like or comment on their stuff, I see them coming to my page and doing the same thing. So, but that's kind of one little thing I've been doing to just kind of grow more interest and eyes on my page. So
I like that you talked about the profile picture, because I almost like, if they have more than one child, I don't friend them. Just because I have a hard time relating to people who have multiple kids, because I don't know what they're going through and what their struggles are. So I'll leave those up to the rest of our coaches that have multiple kids.
Yeah.
And one thing that I do try to pay attention to is if they are mutual friends with a lot of other coaches, I try not to friend them, because I don't want that. I don't want that, you know, especially if they're on our team. You know, if they're friends with you and Shay and Shauna, I'm like, man, like, not really, you know, they already have someone else on our team that they're interested in, for sure, hopefully. Okay. Anything else? All right. Okay, so we're going to move on then of what in the world to say. So I'm going to let Elena take over the beginning part of how to start these conversations. If you haven't yet, Shauna posted some initial conversations. These are all people that she knows, obviously, but she did in the tribe. So definitely check that out. I thought those were they were very Shauna. So the talk was exactly her words. So I think the key to this is being you and not doing exactly what someone else does, but just be you, how, if you saw these people out on the street, how would you start a conversation with them? What would you ask them about? What would you say to them type thing? Okay, go for it.
So I have recently started on Saturday going back to my giveaway that I finished like a week ago, and just started reaching out to anyone that I wasn't already running or having in my challenge groups or wasn't already a customer of mine, and anyone that wasn't a coach of mine or wasn't like my mom, basically. And just started kind of thanking them for entering my giveaway and for showing me support on my page and things like that. And I think I said just something like, oh, I can't believe like it's August already, because a lot of my people are moms and their kids are getting ready to go back to school. So I said, how has your summer been? Have you had lots of fun time? Like, I would look in their profile picture, and if they had kids, I would either compliment their kids or just ask them if they made any fun memories as a family this summer or things like that, or if they had like a wedding picture, like I said, oh, you look so pretty as a bride, like just little things to compliment them. And if I couldn't find something from their profile picture, I would just click on their profile real quick. It doesn't take but like 2 seconds to find something that you can compliment them on. So that's how I would personalize it. I had like a basic script that I was using, but I would try to personalize each one. There were some, if I didn't feel like I had much ways to relate to them, I kind of left it the basic one, but 9 times out of 10, I personalized them in some way. And then I just kind of, sorry, there's some bug flying around my head. Then I would just kind of talk to them, thank them for liking my page and for showing me support, and just kind of telling them kind of what I wanted to use the page for, to be able to help more people and to share tips and things that would help people get to their goals. So then I would ask them, if you have any health goals you're currently working on, I would love to hear them so I would know how to better address them on my page to be able to help you along on your journey. And I think I had like 115 people that liked my giveaway total. And out of that, I think I ended up sending out about 70 messages from that. And since then, I've just kind of been going through my news feed or like my friends list and just kind of making little connections with people, just going to their page, finding something, because I don't even know if some of these people follow me. They probably see my stuff because I posted on my personal page. But just kind of making little connections with women, just complimenting them on something I've noticed them doing or their kids, or just making small talk about being a mom. And I think I have like almost 20 messages in my inbox right now of people that have responded. So even if I don't get a lot of people following through right now, I'm forming those relationships. And and it's funny because a lot of people have said, oh yeah, I do 21-day fix and this and that. And it's like, well, are you with a coach? Like, I've been making small talk with them. So it's been really cool and something I was always afraid to do, but I'm kind of to the point where I want to start reaching out that much more, because with each person that I find is already doing Beachbody programs that I would have had no idea had I not reached out to them. And guys, there's a lot of coaches out there that don't have the heart that I feel like we do on this team. And they don't care as much about their customers or their challengers as we do. So if they're not working with someone on our team and they're not getting the results they want because they're not being as invested in, then that could be an opportunity to reach out to them and invite them into one of your groups. So I don't know. Or maybe they want to be a coach.
Alexa's for real about this Team Cup. I don't know if you all have gotten that yet. She is ready to kick some butt on Team Cup for sure.
So that and my end of the year goal.
End of the year for sure. So from that, and I'm just going to go over this real quick just because I've gotten lots and lots of questions about this. But after you have those initial kind of good conversation of you feel like you know this person, you feel a connection with them, like always bring it back to their goals. Like always, always, always. Like before you even say anything about Shakeology, before you say anything about a program that you're doing, before you say anything about an accountability group, get to know their goals. People don't want to know about the product. They want to know that you care. Okay, I'm going to say that again. They don't want to know about the product. They want to know that you care about them. There are plenty of people out there, plenty of direct sales that can sell them way better than we can probably sell them any product, okay? What's going to make you be successful is that you care about people. So I always start with goals. I find some way to work it in of what their health goals are. And then usually I go into these other questions. So what have you tried in the past and found that was successful? Or what have you tried in the past that did not work? So what have you tried in the past that was successful? What did you try in the past that did not work? That gives a good overview of kind of where they're coming from, and it usually leads to what their struggles are also, which is really, really important. If it doesn't lead to their struggles, I usually ask, how's your eating? What's your biggest struggle with food? Or what's your biggest struggle with your nutrition? And then I always bring it to exercise. What kind of exercises do you enjoy? What don't you enjoy? Or I'll ask something about, like, is there any, I don't remember how I word it. Like, is there anything like that you can't physically do, you know, so that you can come up with, do they need low impact? Do they absolutely hate tons of cardio? Then you're not going to recommend Shanti. Like, just kind of get an idea of where they are in their goals, and then where they are in their eating, and where they are in their exercise. And unless you know those things, you can't even talk about an accountability group, because all of that has to relate to them. So I never send and I always kick myself in the butt, but I'm always like, man, I need to have something that's just about accountability groups. So I need to have like a little thing I can copy paste about, you know, a challenge pack or a savings bundle. But then I know if I have that and I'm copying and pasting it all the time, I'm not going to make it relate to their goals. So for example, let's say I have someone who wants to lose 20 pounds. Like, she loves lifting weights. She loves hard workouts, but she only has 30 minutes. And her, you know, her nutrition stinks. Well, then I'm going to relate 21 Day Fix and Shakeology directly to the fact that it's really quick, you know, workouts that incorporate weights. And you guys know this, but I feel like that was, at least for me as a coach, that was the missing piece. I was having awful conversations with women, and I was jumping the gun, and I wasn't slowing down those conversations for sure. So, do you guys have anything with your conversations about how they're going, how they're not going, things that you're getting kind of stuck on, that you're hearing a lot of people say, but you don't know?
One thing I was going to add to that just real quick too is I've noticed that by slowing down conversations, I don't stress out as much because I'm actually enjoying the process. Like, even if I don't know if they're going to follow through and buy it, like, I just am enjoying getting to know them and building that relationship. So I don't know, it's helped my peace of mind a lot. And I don't feel as desperate because I know that somewhere down the line, if I'm pouring that energy and dedication into them, that they will come around.
No, I agree with that for sure. I almost get to the point where I'm like, okay, shit, I think it's time for me to talk about accountability groups now. And I almost am hesitant to jump to that because I want to invest in them. I mean, that is everybody's favorite topic, is to talk about themselves. I mean, let's get real. Like, who doesn't love talking about themselves and what they're doing, and, talking about their struggles, maybe not so much, but.
I even beat around the bush. Like, I rarely, until it gets to the point like, okay, they're going to buy this, rarely talk about program names. Like, I basically describe all the aspects, like the portion control and this and that with the programs. I talk about the types of workouts there are, but I rarely use the name until they're like ready to have my link. So.
Yeah, I agree too. I do the same. Okay, so let's kind of move on to the follow-up, because this is another huge thing that I feel like is difficult of, okay, so you talked about these things, you got their goals, you talked about the accountability group, you talked about the fitness program, maybe even, and then you heard crickets, nothing. So one thing to help with that is I always end conversations with a question. So I might say, does that sound like something you'd be interested in? Or, you know, do you have any questions? Or just make sure that you end each little segment of your conversation with a question so that they know what you are expecting from them in the conversation next. Okay? So that's the one thing, is always ending in a question. But even if you end in a question, let's face it, sometimes 2 days go by and you haven't gotten any information yet from them, or you haven't heard back from them. That's probably never happened to anybody, right? So I usually do 2 days. I give them 2 days because, let's face it, people are busy nowadays. So let's say I talked to someone on Monday and I left it because I have this going on right now, because right now it's like kind of crunch time for me for my next accountability group. This is like my major, like, let's get rolling with people. So I talked to someone on Monday. I'm going to follow up with them tomorrow, and I put them on my little list for tomorrow, people I need to talk to. And I will say something like this. So I'll say, hey, it was great talking to you the other day. Or I really enjoyed our conversation the other day. Were you serious about that goal of losing 50 pounds? And then I say something about, like, I know I can help you, whatever it is that they're really needing that help with. Okay? So I know it's, at first, when I first said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's like really ballsy to ask them if they're serious about their goals. But I have yet to have someone say, no, I'm not serious. And when they say, yes, I am serious about my goals, then it brings that conversation up about, like, okay, are we going to make this happen? Or are we just, it brings up a conversation that is a hard conversation, but they need to make that decision. Like, don't let them just slide by the wayside and not answer, especially if you invested all of this time asking these questions. I mean, you probably invested at least 20, 30 minutes maybe in back and forth conversation. You deserve an answer. Your time is valuable. We need to start putting value on our time, because you're taking that time away from your family, like you guys are all doing tonight. And so I always say, and I try to bring it back to their goals. Were you serious about whatever their main goal was? And then I say something about, if it's a female, I always say something about how I can make them feel. Okay, so one of my questions is usually like, how do you want to feel 30 days from now? I usually bring that in, because women are all about feeling the feels and all of that stuff. Men, I haven't quite figured them out yet. I don't really talk to too many men. They're more of just like in your face, I feel like. So you probably won't say anything about, like, I'm going to make you feel this way. That's probably not the place to go. He's even shaking his head at me.
He'd be getting blocked.
There is this book called, what is it? I've referred to it a million times, you guys. Why Women Buy. It's good for women, but it talks about the comparison of men and women and why men buy and why women buy things. So might be good for you to read. We'll see. I don't know, because at least it got into, like, what guys think through the buying process and what women think and what they want to hear and what men want to hear. So it was good either way. Okay. And then if I send that, are you serious? And I don't hear back from them, like, they're done. There's no need for me to spend any more time on them. I might follow up with them a couple months from now or next month, but I'm not gonna follow up with someone more than once within a 5-day period, I guess is the best way of putting it. I don't like chasing people at all. It's never been the thing for me. So, follow-ups, is that something that you guys are doing? Do you feel like you do your follow-ups and stuff like that? Okay. Does it feel icky? No? Yes? It took me several months to get over it, to just be like, I had to tell myself, like, I'm busy and I let messages slide. So there's other people out there that are busy and they let messages slide. So, okay. Anything to add there? Okay. That's kind of a majority of what I had planned for tonight. If you guys have questions, and this could be questions about what we talked about tonight or questions about anything, I'm willing to stay on another 15 minutes or so if you guys have anything else you want to talk about. Quiet tonight.
Okay, I'll talk.
Yeah! By the way, I'm Megan. I'm not Shauna. I know it says Shauna, but hers, I'm using.
Oh, no, I know who you are. Okay. So I run a group on Facebook, and it was basically just to keep everybody involved. It was supposed to be to promote Beachbody, but I have a lot of girls in there who do like CrossFit and other stuff. So now they're, a lady was on there today saying what else could she use besides Shakeology, and like people are talking, like promoting the gym and this guy, like they're promoting a bunch of other stuff besides Beachbody, which, and I never in the beginning said only Beachbody, but now I need to go in there and be like, hey, this is for Beachbody only, but I don't really know how to say it. Does that make sense?
Woo! Yeah,
I think I'm in over my head maybe a little bit.
I don't
And
think
it is a free group too.
I don't think you're in over your head. I think it's smart. I think it seems like you have a lot of interaction in it, and you have a lot of people getting value.
I don't want to get like mad and offended because and a girl was in there talking about, so basically one green cup means one thing of vegetables. So, and then I didn't want to talk because she hasn't even wanted to buy any kind of program or anything. She's like, they're just all doing their own thing, but then they're wanting to know about the portion containers, you know?
Yeah. So they are asking questions then?
I mean, they're asking questions, but they're not wanting to invest in a program.
Mm-hmm.
They want me to just like give them the answers.
Okay. So what kind of value are you adding in the group? Like, do you check in, or do you add any kind of like, I'm doing this, or here's a little segment of my workout, or anything like that to the group?
I always try to post what I'm working out that day. I post food. I talk about Shakeology. And Elena's pretty active in it, and also my friend Kim, which help out a lot. So and they always have really good stuff to say, so they help me out a lot, actually.
Yeah. Elena, do you have thoughts on this? Because I don't really know about the group.
Yeah, we were actually talking about it some today. So the issue is there are a lot of her close friends are the ones that are the most active in it. So it kind of seems like they're not taking the value she's putting in it. They're kind of like doing their own thing and not really seeing the worth in what she's putting in it. And so they're kind of starting to take advantage and use it as a platform to just like hang out and, everybody talk about their own thing. And a lot of people when she posts about Shakeologies, people have been complaining about the price and this and that and kind of like putting it down. So
do you use that to formulate other posts to kind of combat the complaining at all?
We kind of like, well, they were talking about like expensive, and then we were like, well, it breaks down to $4 a day, and when you think about that, that's not expensive at all. I mean, it's like $28 a week. So, and then like they just won't reply back, or like one of the Ashley was like, holy post overload or something. Like I think like maybe we made her mad on one of them because me, Elena, and Kim were like just constant, like a bunch of posts, like basically like telling her that it works, and I guess I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know if I should just make a whole new group. Should just like post something and say no more talk with like Beachbody.
I don't think I would do that either. I think that you have something really great started. I feel like if these people are your close friends, I would maybe have a one-on-one conversation to quit having these conversations in the group and have a one-on-one conversation of I think maybe what you need to do is like sit down and write down like what you want out of this group. So you obviously want interaction. You want people to share what they're doing, whether it's Beachbody or not, right? So people can share what fitness they're doing, but they can't share what supplements they're doing. Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
So I think one, I would continue to focus on your progress because you're getting really good progress, and I hope that you are posting the hell out of your progress and what you're doing with your Beachbody programs, because I feel like getting results will speak so much louder than any great post about Shakeology. Does that make sense? Okay. And then just making sure that you are very clear of what it is that you're wanting to get out of this group. And then, and not get out of this group. What do you want it to develop into? You know, are you using it as a platform to sell, or are you using it as a platform to bring in people that are like-minded in a community, which I feel like is a good place to start for sure. And taking those like conversations about, like, do you post about challenge groups coming up in that free group?
Well, I did one, and I didn't even get anybody in for it, so I didn't even do it, which was supposed to start Monday. So me and Kim are going to get together. We were actually talking tonight, and we're going to do one. So we're going to start posting tomorrow about it.
Okay. So
you froze. Can you hear me?
Do what?
You keep freezing on me.
Oh no!
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah,
my connection's low or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So I would definitely use that. And, you know, you don't post about an accountability group coming up every single week, but whenever you have one coming up, like that definitely needs to be put out there. Make sure that you showcase what it is that they're going to get from this accountability group. But also how it's going to be different from this free group. So I toy with the idea of putting even more and more into this free group. I'm kind of at a loss right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, her group has been going on almost a month now, and sometimes they post without her even posting. So it's been really great interaction for a free group. I've never had one that's successful, so I think she definitely has something special. It's just, I don't know, like the main thing that bothers me is when people, like, she posts about something and people like slam it. That's the biggest thing, because they don't even. But I mean, at least
totally welcome to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're totally welcome to do that. And if you don't like that, it needs to be a one-on-one conversation. Okay. But if they are slamming it, that means that they are uninformed. So if there is something in there that is a misconception, if you're not even sure if it's a misconception, you know, maybe screenshot it and be like, how do I handle this? And throw it in our group, and people can comment and give you some feedback. You know, I didn't understand Shakeology before when I started it, to be honest with you. I had no idea, and that's why I was like, this is expensive. I don't even know if I want to continue with this. But the more I research it, have you listened to Shay Stanford has a little tidbit on Shakeology and kind of the science behind it?
Is it on one of the workout DVDs? Is that what you're talking about?
No. This is one, a coach, she did it, and it's very It's very informative. And she talks about how it fits into the diet cycle. And I'll send it to you because it's really good. And it at least made me feel more informed on having conversations with people about it instead of being like, yeah, it's this nutrient dense shake. It's got protein. Like being a little bit more aware of how it compares to others, it is good. So I kind of like that they're bringing up other shakes because then you can be like, oh yeah, what's what kind of protein's in there? Does it have any artificial sweeteners, or does it have any artificial whatever it might be? So just kind of having those conversations with these people about, okay, if you're suggesting something in my free group, I'm going to ask you about it. So tell me more about that product. So I don't know. I would almost engage them in the conversation rather than starting a new group.
Okay.
So use it as a teaching experience. And I'm sure Elena can help you with that. She's good. She's good with wording. Okay. Great question, though. Sorry that took so long. You got me on that one. Shay, how are you doing, girl? You're kicking butt, right?
I don't know about that. I'm trying to get my motivation back now that I'm not horribly nauseous.
I feel like you have gotten your motivation back.
Yeah, Summit helped. It was good timing.
Yeah.
So, I'm starting my group Monday, so I'm kind of in that awkward stage of I'm not inviting right now this week.
Yeah.
But I did reach out to some people. I'm kind of switching my game from going to like the mom side of things, reaching out to people that have just had kids. I've had a couple buy challenge packs because they want to get, back in the swing of things. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good. Changing up your niche a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to always be evolving. I've considered switching to the whole like newlywed thing, but I don't want to deal with brides. I won't lie. I want nothing. Just dealing with my little cousin is enough for me. Not you, Casey, my other little cousin. I was like, I can't talk about wedding stuff 24/7 with you people. So
no, you don't want to.
I'll stick with what I got going right now. All right, Philip, what's going on, bud?
Well, I've had quite a few people that are interested in hearing about it, and I keep going back to them every once in a while, and half the time that I go back to them, I won't even bring it up. I'll just check on them and see how they're doing, and then sometimes they'll bring it up on their own, and then they just drop the conversation again.
Yeah.
So it sucks. I went to Super Saturday this last weekend, and it was pretty fun. My fiance went with me, and it really got her motivated and really excited about it, and now she wants to sign up as a coach as well. So we're going to try and tag team it together.
I love that. And keep in mind, I just feel like the first 3 months are the hardest just because so many people get into something like this and they drop it within a month or they drop it within 2 months. And you have to keep in mind, they're investing a decent amount of trust and money into you being their coach. And so that building that trust and, having those conversations, like you said, I won't even bring it up to them. I think that means a lot for sure. Are a lot of these people that you're talking to, are they, do they already go to the gym, or are they just starting out on kind of trying to get healthier?
Some of them go to the gym and some of them don't. I actually have a buddy of mine, before I actually started this Beachbody thing, I was transitioning into being a bodybuilder. So I'd lost a lot of weight and I'd put on a lot of muscle. Well, I have a bodybuilding friend that he's interested in trying it out whenever he goes into his cutting phase.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see if he'll actually follow through with that or not. And like, cause he's a really big guy, so he could, I mean, that could help my page out or something if he went through and did that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hook him up with some Shanti. Shanti will cut him out for sure. He is no joke. That dude's crazy. Okay, cool. Have you, I don't remember what program you bought. Have you tried it out at all?
I'm doing 22-minute hard corps right now. And
Yeah.
She's doing it too. She
Yeah.
actually did her workout earlier, and I was getting ready to do mine, and then I forgot about this call, so I sat down to listen into this call, so I'll do mine after this.
Yeah. Are you guys liking it?
Yeah, it's pretty exhausting. She did the warm up the first day, and she's like, "Whew, thank goodness that's over." I was like, "No, that's just the warm up."
Okay, did she take some before pictures?
I believe we
Tell
took
her,
4 pictures.
tell her to take some before pictures. And I know right now she probably doesn't want to, but you know. Actually, you take them for her would be good. But
Take mine too.
you know, in just a variety of different things also, because she might, you know, I've had coaches that have been like, they will take them in like really small shorts and a sports bra, and they're like, there is no way I will ever post this. And then once they get that progress, they're all about it. Or tell her to put on a tighter tank top or something that's going to show her progress for sure. But I know that those results, they just speak for themselves for sure. So she doesn't have to show anybody right now, and also for you need to be doing that also for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Has anybody ever done more than one program at a time, or no? Like, cause she's really interested in that country heat, and we're already started the 22-minute hard corps. So would it be okay for us to do both, or?
You want to talk, Elena?
I was just going to say I might not double up on programs, but I teach Insanity 3 days a week, and I still do my at-home workouts too. So,
Okay. So
actually, he would probably be like a good cool-down workout.
Cool down?
Well, I mean, just like a totally different type of using your muscles, like
Yes.
some lower intensity. I meant more like cool down with your mindset, like more enjoyable, a de-stressing type of workout.
Yeah.
So we maybe finish out our 22 hard corps and interpret country heat in like a few times a week or something like that.
She can do that for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and it'll be a little bit, if you haven't bought it yet, it'll be a little bit to get it. And if she doesn't do on demand, so you might do like the first 30 days of 22 minutes so that she has a little bit of progress to show. If she's like me, I have like workout ADD, so I can't do anything more than a month. And then she can maybe incorporate that country heat in the second month. Or
so like next month would be a good month for her to incorporate that, because you only have to log 3 days a week for the workout, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Okay. Anything else? Those are good. Anything else then, Philip? Those are good questions. No.
Nope.
All right. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Miss Elena? You got that look on your face.
No, I just didn't know if you were going to ask Casey how she was doing.
Oh, Casey did come back. We talk almost daily, so I kind of know how she's doing. But is there anything that you were wanting to chat about, or how are you doing, Miss Casey?
I think, I don't know, the whole inviting thing, we covered a lot of what I've been struggling with. I do have one challenger who, she's in the group that I added with you, and she's just not really being active. So I don't know if she's just not really into it, or she's not really. I know she just started a new job, so she's kind of struggling with the new job and trying to balance all of that. But I knew she was wanting to work on her health goals. She's just not really fully committing to herself. And I don't want to like nag her all the time, be like, hey, how's things going? How's things going? But I've been
So I think you were cutting out a little bit at the end, but I don't think it's nagging. She asked you to be her coach, so keep that in mind. When was the last time that you reached out to her or talked to her one-on-one? When? I'm trying to read lips here and I can't tell what she's saying. So I would definitely reach out to her, if not weekly, maybe more than weekly, just to see, and a simple, hey, how are you doing? Or hey, how are you feeling? You could even ask, have you tried Shakeology or found a recipe that you like with that yet? So it doesn't have to be a super like, where have you been? I haven't seen you post at all. It could just be a simple like, hey, how are you feeling? Or how are you doing? Or have you tried any of the workouts yet? Or, just kind of that initial, sometimes it takes people like an accountability group to like figure things out, I feel like sometimes. And I'm just like, that's not me. I'm a like, go for it, do it all right away. And I realized that some people need like, I need to test the waters. I need to get a feel for the people in the group. And I'm like, dude, it's not about them. It's about you. Like, let's go, show up. But just reach out to her and just, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Or have you tried any of the workouts? Have you found a Shakeology recipe? So don't ask all of those questions, but choose one or two of them for sure. So I think that would be good. All right. Okie dokie. Well, I am going to get us off here then. Shay looks like she's about to turn into a pumpkin and fall asleep. So it's time for us to go to bed.
It is my bedtime.
Thank you guys so much for being on. I so appreciate it. So I will talk to you all later. And I will get this up hopefully tomorrow. I have no school meetings, so I should be able to work a little bit tomorrow. Yay. So catch y'all later. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.